Okay, it is the end of today's trading day, Wednesday, December 2nd, and rather than go to the keyboard, I thought I would go to the video here. I'm a little tired, and I had a note from somebody looking for something different in my blog, which I'll get to in a little bit, so I thought this might be a way to do that as well. A couple of notes. First of all, many of you know by now that I had gone off the lecture circuit for quite some time as I essentially hunkered down on my own trading. And I used to do a lot of talking and speaking years ago. And I'm a trader, and I make my money through trading, and so that's where I felt my focus has always needed to be. So I got off of that circuit, but I have been asked by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and by my broker MF Global to speak at the New York Expo in February, and I've agreed to do so. And the date has been set for Monday, February 15th. I do not have a time yet, but it'll be sometime that day, and I figure while I'm there, maybe those that are interested, maybe we could get together for some drinks or something on Sunday evening. Again, I don't do a whole lot of this intentionally. I'm not someone who likes to hawk his wares, so to speak, and I enjoy my personal freedom on weekends and my ability to trade profitably over the course of the week. So to the extent that this is on a Monday, I've agreed for this one day to sacrifice that to talk. So anyway, that again is Monday, February 15th. If you can make it there, no cost, by the way, to participate. It's not going to be one of those sessions. I look forward to seeing you. Couple of other notes I thought I would pass on. The lease prices at the Merc continue to drop, and I just checked them again today. They're currently hovering around $700 a month. So if you're if you're a fairly active trader and you don't need to be trading a whole lot of volume, frankly, to make that work for you, please take a look at that. I just recently locked in my $800 a month 6-month lease, which was down from over $2,000 my last 6-month period. So again, take a look at that. I will say that with the Merck's recent change in their rate structure, and if you're not aware of this, a few months ago they made a change in terms of how they do their discounting and volumes and that kind of thing. And the net effect of that has actually been an increase in commissions. It's costing me about another $2,000 a month, based on my looking at my last couple of months worth of trading compared to the old rate structure. So when all is said and done, all the bells and whistles are offsetting each other, and all that. The cost of transactions for those of us that trade fairly substantially has gone up a bit. So that's something that you'll want to factor in any cost-benefit analysis that you do. I will try to keep up to date on trader transaction tax issues. As I mentioned the other day, I have joined the petition, and I would like to be fairly active in that effort. Please continue to check the greencompany.com site. Bob Green's done a great job with staying on top of that and coordinating the petition. So that's continuing. What else do I want to talk about? The blog. I received. We're getting another spike in traffic. If you've looked back at the evolution of this whole thing, it started off very modestly. It gathered significant interest late last year, earlier this year, and then it kind of leveled off a little bit, and now it seems to be heading back in the up direction again. A few things. First of all, for me, this is not about eyeballs. This is not about hits. This is not about me trying to hawk educational services. It really isn't. Certainly, I have a reference to them. I'm proud of the effort. The feedback has been what it has been. But first and foremost, this is a blog. This is a diary, and that's how this started, and it's how it's evolving back into again. And so, but for some reason, there's been another spike in interest, and I've received some mail lately. Sometimes people get on my case for being too negative, giving myself too hard of a time in terms of my own performance. Others, one fellow today was telling me that, well, I keep repeating myself, and I keep referencing 2008 a whole lot. And just a couple of responses to that. again, when I write, it's a diary. It really is. It's whatever I happen to be thinking about at the time. When you do this day in and day out for now, going on a year and a half, you're going to find a lot of repetition. It just is that way. I try to use this really as my own tool. It is a way for me to take perhaps a different side of my brain and look at this business through a different lens, and look at it through telling stories and referencing sports and movies and the 60 Minutes piece that I did yesterday, and look at the market through that lens. And so that helps me and my own performance. To the extent that for the newer folks, to the extent that I ever refer back to past performance, good or bad, okay, it's really done for two reasons. One, usually, ironically, when I'm not trading as well as I feel I can be, I'll reference the good times in the past because it's a motivational tool. Okay, it helps me remember the confidence, remember the feeling, remember the zones. Okay, so it's purposely done that way. Conversely, when I'm trading really well, and if you look back at some of the '08 posts, you'll see me again talking about how I'm still missing opportunity, or I'm sub-optimizing sequences, and normally what you see in the blog is essentially the direct opposite of how I might be trading at any given point in time, and it's a way of my trying to maintain humility and maintain an even keel through the ups and downs of this business. So, and the other reason, and really the only reason I will ever dwell on some of the large successes. And dwell is probably not the right reason, but as I said in the post yesterday, where I said focus all of your energies on a specific mission and target, and you can be as good as anyone in your field of interest. That's not me saying that look how great I am. That is me, if you really read this, that is me telling you that you can do this. It is me saying, and if you go back to the end of the '08 post and the early '09 posts, where things were uncanny. A, I kept saying it wasn't going to continue, and B, and the last post of '08, the year to dance post, was all about people that were reading. It was all about trying to use this as motivation for others. Folks, I make as many mistakes as anybody, and that's what I want to come across in this. But I also wanted to come across that if I can do this, if I can overcome these things, if I can overcome the obstacles in my life and the daily obstacles in the trading business, then Lord knows you can too. And that's what this is about. So any references, the key post menu link in the lower left hand corner, any references to '08, '09, early '09, hell, '04, '05. I mean, I've had a lot of good trading years. It's done for that reason, okay? And you just have to believe me on that. So anyway, I want to touch on that a little bit. I'll talk a little bit about my own trading, again, the transition that I'm making now back to 100% trader versus the mentor trading, which I've done for the past couple of months. It is a mental transition for me. I have talked last couple of posts about getting my sizes up. I'm very serious about that. I'm using December as a bridge of sorts to make that happen, and I'll talk more about that. I think it'll be interesting to see how that works for me, and things that I learn throughout that process that I can pass on others in the format of this blog. So, my trading right now is going as good as it has in a long time. I say long time. I mean it flattened off. It never tanked, no pun intended. But it leveled off, and now the last couple of months it's been very consistent, and I want to further strengthen that consistency before I start getting into the $200, $300, $400, $500 lot sizes, which I will do, and I'm going to migrate toward that as I bridge, going from what I have been doing lately up to those volumes over the course of this month. So again, I'll talk more about that as time goes on. Still trading with the jellies in terms of we all basically commiserate during the course of the day and are different sets of eyeballs for each other, which is kind of cool. But it's all done as traders, shoulder to shoulder. So those are some thoughts today anyway. Again, a little bit of a different post today. A few things on my mind. Interesting today. Fake out to the upside, back to a range day, very much MATD-like. Have a great day. We'll catch you later.